True story. Believe it or not, there was a real Santa Claus. I'm not very good at typing essays on a computer yet. I usually write them by hand, but now I'm using Dad's computer because my teacher, Miss Rona, is very fussy. Let me start again. True story. Believe it or not, there was a real Santa Claus. His name was Saint Nicholas, the Bishop of Myra in Turkey, who performed many miracles. He once rescued a drowning sailor in a storm. Then he saved three little children from a butcher who planned to murder them and sell their bodies as meat. But he is most remembered today for the way he secretly gave gifts to the poor. Born of wealthy parents, Saint Nicholas decided to use his inheritance to help the less fortunate, and to make sure no one knew where the money came from. He gave it away secretly at night, so if anyone in need left his or her shoes out, Saint Nicholas secretly put coins in them. The most famous story about Saint Nicholas concerns a poor man who had 3 daughters. Without dowries, his daughters could never get married. When Saint Nicholas heard about the man's plight, he went to his house one night and tossed a bag of gold coins through the window for the first daughter. The next night he threw another bag of coins into the house for the second daughter. But when Nicholas learned that the man planned to lie in wait to find out who his benefactor was, Saint Nicholas fooled him. On the third night, he dropped the bag of coins down the man's chimney. And that is how the legends of Santa Claus began. The English name Santa Claus comes from Saint Nicholas' Dutch name, Sinterklaas. To this day, Dutch children leave their shoes in front of the chimney on the night of December 5th, the eve of Saint Nicholas's feast day. Often they put a carrot or some hay in their shoes for Sinterklaas's horse. Later that night, their presents are left in a sack outside their front door. Saint Nicholas, who is also known as Nicholas the Wonder Worker, died on 6 December in the year 330. So whenever you see Santa Claus, spare a thought for that man who could always spare something for the poor, the good Saint Nicholas. Well, that's my Christmas essay for school. Amazing, right? But what's all that stuff about Saint Nicholas got to do with the horrors that happened to me last night? That's what I'm gonna tell you. By the way, my name is Richie Chua. I'm not just an expert on Christmas, I am also the schoolboy with short hair and glasses whom Stella Lim calls cool. Stella is in my class and she's very pretty, and it's not her fault that she's a girl. She and my best friend Beaver Z live in the block next door. That's why we always hang out together, and it's all Stella's fault that our Christmas was so scary. She and Beavers had come over to my apartment on Sunday afternoon to play computer games. When I showed them my essay, Stella gave me one of her skeptical looks, the sort of look that girls are good at giving. Her mouth turned down at the corners, and she lifted one eyebrow like she was talking to a child. Richie, you can't just hand it in like that, she told me. What do you mean? I demanded. It's finished, isn't it? But it doesn't look Christmassy. Beavers, who was playing a game on my computer, looked up and grunted. Richie had to write an essay about Christmas, that's all. The teacher didn't say anything about how it should look. You boys are all the same, Stella snapped, glaring at us. You've got no imagination. Well, what do you think I should do? I challenged. I spent the whole morning writing my essay. Now all I wanted to do was chill and play computer games. You should put your essay in a nice plastic cover, then decorate the fronts of the cover with some tinsel and a picture of Santa Claus, and then wrap it up in Christmas paper, Stella said, waving her hands around enthusiastically. That will make it look really special. It will also make it look really jolly, choked Beavers. Rubbish, snarked Stella. If things worth doing, it's worth doing well. That's what Mom always says. She checked her watch. If we go down to the shopping mall now, we can be back in time for dinner. Beavers groaned, and I knew Stella was right. I hated to admit it, but she did have good ideas. I could make my essay look so spectacular that I might even win a prize. Half an hour later, we trooped off the bus and into the mall. Stella led the way through the dense throng of shoppers in the atrium. They've got a lot of Christmas stuff down at Santa's workshop, she said, over her shoulder. Every year at the mall they build a replica of Santa Claus' workshop. Santa sits on a throne in the center of it, with motorized life-size elves hammering and sawing at the long workbench. Hundreds of toys are displayed on racks around him, and through the window behind him there's always a model of Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer waiting in the snow, with a sleigh piled high with dozens of colorful packages. Anyhow, I don't believe in Santa Claus, Beavers announced when we finally reached Santa's workshop. I mean, look at those dumb elves. They're all fakes. And even if they weren't, how could an elf build something like a computer game or an iPod? Beavers don't spoil Christmas for other people. Stella cheated him. Santa Claus was real. Didn't you read Richie's essay? Yes, but Richie said he came from Turkey. So how come all the Santas I knew are big fat guys with snowy beards and red suits who look like they came from the North Pole? He pointed at the long queue of mothers and children waiting to meet Santa. And look at them. It is just so dumb. I mean, who cares whether they've been naughty or nice? They're still going to get lots of presents, aren't they? Hi, Beavers, said a girl's voice. We all turned around to see another girl from our class, Bianca Pablo. She gave Beavers a curious smile. I don't know you believed in Santa Claus. So what are you doing here? I'm just here with Richie, Beavers told her, his cheeks beginning to burn. And what are you going to tell Santa you want for Christmas? She asked with a giggle. Beavers shot her a mean look. I'm going to ask him for a cockroach torture chamber. It's a battery-operated machine that pulls off their wings before it squashes them into jelly, which I'll eat. Yuck, Bianca muttered in disgust and disappeared into the crowd. You're so rude, Stella said, elbowing Beavers in the ribs. She led us to where the Christmas wrapping paper and decorations were being sold. She chose a big card with a beaming picture of Santa, a packet of tinsel, a little bunch of plastic holly, and some bright wrapping paper with Santa's face all over it. After I'd paid for it, she headed for the stationery shop, where she chose a bright red plastic folder. We were walking through the atrium towards the main entrance when Beavers grabbed my arm. Hey, Richie, I just saw Santa Claus. Huh? I said, scowling. You couldn't have. He's still back there at Santa's workshop. I'm telling you, I saw him, Beavers insisted. A second Santa? Where? Demanded Stella, her eyes suspiciously scanning the atrium. I don't believe you. He just went through the emergency exit over there. Beavis started moving towards the metal door. I want to see where he went. Come on. If only we hadn't followed Beavis. If only we had just gone straight home.